And welcome back to Your Day. It was one thing dealing with the coronavirus pandemic in March and April, sometimes cold, wet, not the kind of weather you want to be out in. But now sunny 70s, 80s, but the virus is still lurking out there. Dr. Victoria Kelly joins us with some practical advice for fending off COVID-19 during the summer months. Dr. Kelly, good to see you this morning. We know summer officially begins this weekend. A lot of people are getting out and about more than ever, but we really shouldn't forget about the coronavirus, should we?
Right. I think we all felt like we were caged up and we finally got released, once the weather got nice. And I think it's really important to take the time, though, to pause and think carefully about how you want to approach the summer and, in fact, the rest of the year. Because, a lot of us who have children or other families, we have the summer off for breaks, we go vacationing, but it's super important not to forget that, this virus is still around and it's going to continue to affect us. And to not be, lulled into that false sense of security that the weather's nice, let's go out and socialize, but to really just be very cautious and careful about it.
Yeah, it's really hard to really decipher what's going on. A lot of states are starting to see an increase in coronavirus cases. Ohio seems to be holding steady right now. You go to a store or a restaurant, some people are wearing masks, other people are not. This is a lot to process, and here we thought we'd have less stress. It's almost more stressful now.
Exactly. There's so many more variables to account for. And I think, if you take it by segment of your life, so, work, if we look at that first, work is not going to be the same for many people. Many employers have now realized that a hybrid might work best, where you work from home part-time and in office part-time, again, as a safety precaution. And so you really need to make sure that whatever you learned, and this is probably my core take-home point, whatever you learned from surviving the quarantine, keep that with you. Make sure that you're very comfortable with technology, the different apps that you might use. And if you have realized that you tend to be pretty glitchy during all of those Zoom meetings, maybe consider your internet capabilities, because again, we're phasing into a new type of work environment with that. So, whatever helped you survive, don't forget about that for work.
Yeah, we could easily have to slide back into that. Everyone is hoping we don't have another shutdown or even something close to that. So a good advice there to keep going with that. What about the whole shopping thing? I try to wear a mask every time I go in. Sometimes I feel like people are looking at me like, why do you have that on? What's your advice for that? And is it one of those situations where don't let others influence your safety?
Exactly. I think that's the core thing. Of course, there's always going to be the guidelines recommended by the World Health Organization and the CDC, but it's really just about being smart. Don't touch things unless you have to. The general recommendations are, we may not need to go overboard on sanitizing every single, grocery item. However, the take-home point being the very common surfaces that you touch all the time, doorknobs, countertops, just maybe take a little bit of extra care when you come home from shopping. And then, absolutely, at this point in time, there's not really any harm in wearing a mask. And, people have conflicting views about that. The medical community in general does encourage everyone to wear a mask for the protection of others.
And what about our kids? We know they are getting out and about more, having fun with friends in the neighborhood again, maybe having sleepovers. Do you think it's safe to do that, or should we kind of still wait and see where this is going first?
Yeah. Again, I think that the important thing is to be careful and thoughtful about it. Kids have been cooped up and they probably have less of an understanding at a baseline about what's going on. So you need to continue to have the discussions with them about social distancing, about especially number one, hygiene. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands for those 20 seconds is key. And then otherwise, try to overall limit your exposure. People think that, we're on the tail end of this, but it actually, we're still right in the middle of it. And so honestly, if we can do our best to try to prevent things in the future, that would be good. The other thing is back to school season. We don't know what that's going to look like. And so in the summertime, it's a perfect opportunity to just encourage the core messages of, be safe, try not to be around too many people, wash your hands, and to help them prepare for that.
And it sounds like we should, not only our kids, we should all stay flexible because school is going to be some at home, some of it in the school as well. So we're going to have to remain flexible. Thank you so much. Dr. Victoria Kelly, always great advice. We appreciate you bringing us on, and thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day.